Hey environmental science students, this lesson is about interpreting succession data, and we'll use that data to make a comparison between two values. So you'll have on your x-axis here years since some kind of disturbance. In this problem, it's saying that it's the years since a volcanic eruption. So I'm going to put that down. But you might have a different kind of disturbance. But a volcanic eruption would cover all of the soil in the ecosystem. If you had a lava flow, for instance, or an ash flow, that would cover the vegetation, and then you would have to start the ecosystem over through the process of ecological succession. In that case, it would be primary succession. And then you have percent ground cover of a specific species. So in this case, it's giving us pine shrubs as our species, and you might have something different. So the first question is asking, based on the data, which type of species are pine shrubs? And we're going to choose early, mid, or late successional. This isn't something you just want to know. This is something that you want to be able to interpret from a graph. So since the pine shrubs are peaking near the middle of this graph, we're going to consider them a mid-successional species. So you will choose that. And then the next question asks us, which of these adaptations do the pine shrubs most likely have that make them suited for this stage of ecological succession? So if they were able to thrive in nutrient-poor soil, that would be more likely to be part of an early successional species. If they are shade tolerant and able to outcompete, that would be mid. And if they're slow growing and long-lived, that would be late successional. Think of like a large tree. That would be kind of your late successional species. So you'll pick which one it is, and for this case, it says mid, we're going to pick that one. So now we kind of have thought about what that succession means, and now I'm looking at the data, and it says how many times more ground cover were the pine shrubs in year 20 compared to year 15. So we're going to use this data on the graph. When you hover over the point on the graph, you'll see this little number come up. Or if you're on a touch screen, you could click on it. So 15.8 means that the X is 15 and the Y is 8. So 15 years since the disturbance is a percent ground cover of 8%. And then for year 20, at year 20, it's 15%. So we're going to use those two numbers to compare how many more are in year 20 than year 15. So 15 went with year 20. And 8 went with year 15. Now it's confusing because 15 was in both of those numbers. So you're going to type those in, and then you'll calculate that separately on a calculator. So on my Desmos calculator, if I typed that in, 15 divided by 8, when you click the division sign on the Desmos calculator, it'll make this nice little fraction for you. And I have 1.875. So I can go ahead and round that to three significant figures, would be 1.88, and I'll put that in to my last space here for how many times more cover. So hopefully that will be helpful and hopefully get you thinking a little bit about ecological succession.